Harry, where are you? We need to talk, my wife called out as she walked through the front door. I heard that she wasn't alone. She knew I was home because my car was parked in the driveway. I'm upstairs. I'll be right down, I said as I closed my suitcase that was on the bed. What are you doing home already? She asked, entering the bedroom. And why are you packing a suitcase? Oh, I got a call from a potential client. The case is urgent, so I took off work to pack. I have a plane to catch in a few hours. I'm sorry I didn't tell you, but the opportunity just came up. I need to act quickly before it's too late. Oh, good. Anyway, I hope you have a few minutes, because I really need to talk to you. Sure. No problem. I have some time, I replied, picking up my suitcase and following her. We made our way to the kitchen to sit at the table. Sure enough, there was another guy there. I recognized him. It was Dave Knowlton, one of the lawyers at the firm she worked at. I grabbed the cup of coffee I'd brewed about a half hour ago and sat down. Dave and I fell in love with each other. I don't love you anymore, and I want a divorce. We've already filed the papers, and here's your copy. Good. I can't argue with that. If it's over between us, then it's over. Do you mind if I take a look at it? It's better to just get it over with quickly. Depending on how this trip goes, I may not have time to deal with this for the next few months. Maybe Dave should get a notary so we can finalize everything before I leave. Wow, Harry, you're being very mature. I was expecting a big fight. I'm sorry to jump on you with this, but it's best to just get it over with and move on. Well, from what you said, there's no point in fighting, so let's see what we have here. I took a few minutes to go over the division of property. Okay, I see one change I'd like to see. As for spousal support, I'm curious. You have a decent job. Why are you asking for $2,000 a month? Well, we looked it up and did the math. You actually make 4 times as much as I do, so the formula the court uses comes out to that amount. Okay. The only problem I see is that my business is about to undergo a major change, and I really don't want to go back to court to renegotiate that. How about we change it to a fair percentage of my income? Let's just make it 25%. That will give you more based on my last paycheck, and it will automatically adjust as my paycheck changes. Oh, wow. That's very generous of you and a good idea. Okay, Dave will change that, and we'll all do it. Well, you've given me a wonderful 10 years, so there's no reason to be unfair. Now, about you asking for 60% of the business. You really don't know anything about how to run it. I don't want to lose control of it, so how about you get 49%? In reality, I am the driving force behind it. In fact, to compensate for that, we can change the investment percentage from 60% to 80% of all current investments. In the end, I can always recover what I lose. Okay, I think that will work, as long as I keep the house. I love this house. I can live with that. In fact, I'll be working so much that I won't have time to go to the beach house. I don't really like the beach. You know what? Let's change the wording to say I'm signing away my share of all the real estate we own now. I'll probably buy a condo somewhere anyway. There's less to worry about there. Harry, I can't believe how generous you are. Well, like I said, I'll be too busy to really enjoy real estate so I can make enough money to rebuild my portfolio. Okay, now about alimony. Personally, I think you've underestimated alimony a bit, and there's no provision here for it to increase as my income increases. At the end of the day, I want my children to be well taken care of. Let's change it this way. 25% of all my income in this country will go to child support. That way, they will cover not only my income from work, but also any other income from my investments here. Also, since you'll be the guardian, they do have to be put on your insurance. Okay, that sounds reasonable. I'll have David connect to the Wi-Fi and print out the new documents. We'll sign and notarize them, and then David will take them to the archives. Thank you, Harry. You've taken a very measured approach to this matter. I appreciate it. The documents were printed, the notary came, we signed the papers, I picked up my suitcase and went to the airport. You cheat your heart out, I'll tell on you. Ringtone. A month later, I was awakened by a ringtone while dozing on the beach in Cabo. I didn't even have to check the caller ID to see who it was. Hi, Anna. To what do I owe this call? Have I not been generous enough? You're a creep. I don't know how you did it, but you won't get away with it. It's a good thing I put the phone on speaker instead of holding it to my ear. What do you mean, love? You know exactly what I mean. There's a fucking van in front of this fucking house, and the deputy sheriff is already here with the eviction papers. Well, I guess the owners of the house need you and your boyfriend to move out before they can move in. You signed the house over to me. What do you mean the new owners? I am the owner. Well, technically, that's not true. What I signed over to you is all the property we owned at the time we signed the divorce papers. We didn't actually own any property for over 3 months before you gave me the divorce papers. Since your name wasn't on the papers, I didn't even need your signature to sell them. You mean the beach house, too? I told you I don't really like beaches. You're a scumbag. Where are you even located? I need to meet with you to discuss signing the papers so I can get ownership of my share of the company. You didn't do that. About 6 months ago. I was just running the company for the new owners on a salary until they got up to speed. In fact, I stopped working there altogether the week before our last conversation. So, no paycheck, no support. What about the kids? You said you wanted to take care of them. No. I said I want to take care of my children. Since I'm not the biological father of any of them, I have no interest in taking care of them. Maybe you should talk to Chris and Jerry about supporting their kids. DNA is a wonderful thing. Well, at least I have savings and investments. She stopped talking when I couldn't hold back my laughter any longer. Let me guess, she moaned. That's all gone too. I transferred everything to an offshore account I opened as soon as I sold the company. Good luck finding it. We'll see what the court has to say about that. Good luck with that. I gave you everything exactly as it was stated in the documents you signed and notarized. You got 49% of all the businesses I owned at the time I signed the documents. You received all the property we owned at the time we signed the documents. You received your share of my income at the time the papers were signed. Child support is exactly 20% of my income in the United States of America. The fact that you never checked to see if I owned a business or property or had any income at the time does not apply to me. I never said I had any of those things. You get exactly what you deserve. What do you mean? I've supported you and been your wife for 10 years. I deserve more than nothing. Really? You've been cheating on me for at least the last 5 years. As soon as I left, you put your latest lover in your house. You're a cheater and deserve nothing. And I filed a complaint against your company. I found out that they have a little morals clause in their employee handbook that forbids adulterous relationships between employees. The video I sent of the two of you making love in the conference room should ensure that you both get fired. Also, the ethics committee is investigating him because they somehow got a bunch of evidence that he had a sexual relationship with a client while he was representing her. I heard he might get his license revoked because of that. That would really suck because it would mean he wouldn't be able to just move on to another law firm or even start his own firm after he's fired. Oh no, I have to call David. Don't worry, he won't answer. What do you mean? I heard he was the victim of a rather violent robbery. He's probably in an ambulance being taken to Mercy General right now. Maybe it's time for you to find a new boyfriend. Oh, God. No, not even close. Although the Latina hottie lying next to me right now says the same thing, but she usually screams when we're both naked. Soon the conversation was over. My Latina beauty woke up from her nap and decided that we needed to go back to the enclosed stall where we would have less clothes on. I gave her this voucher to keep me in the loop on my wife. She had called me the day before to let me know that the paperwork had been filed and they were going to ambush me in the evening. Immediately after that, She left the law firm and went home to pack her bags. We met at the airport and flew to Cabo together. 2 more days later, we were off to Costa Rica, where there is a large expat community, and you can live royally cheap. Subscribe to our channel to keep your partner from cheating on you, and listen to the next story because this story is nothing compared to the next.